Ladies and gentlemen, it is Monday, December 1st, 2025. It is the last month of 2025, and we are back with a live stream. We are live on TikTok as well as the Red app. And of course, I have Billy TKO joining me today live. So shout out to Billy TKO. He says he's back for good. We'll hold him to that. Yes, sir. He says hold him to it, so that's what we're gonna do. But ladies and gentlemen, this past weekend we obviously had WWE Survivor Series War Games, and it was a very interesting show. A lot of people seem to be very, 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 I guess, a lot of people seem to be very like hit or miss on this. I think some people are happy with the show, some people were disappointed with the show. Clearly, there needs to be a conversation about it. But Billy, obviously, you watch the show. You do a live watch along. You go live on YouTube and TikTok and all these platforms, and you talk about it and react to it in real time. So before I get my piece and tell the world what I think, I would love to hear your perspective, and then we'll talk about things that happen on the show and whatever.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, some people I've kind of, Ango, I'll be 100% honest with you. I see on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, I see people in the way that they react on there. And for as long as I've been doing this, I know you sometimes go on X and stuff like that. I'm really not on there like that. Like, I really try to maneuver myself away from those individuals, because I feel like if you go there, you're always going to get some type of bad outcome. I feel like people, they create fake reactions just for the sake of creating fake reactions and just to get a click or a view or whatever. So for me, if you want me to be 1000% honest, did I think that there were some problems with the show? Absolutely. I mean, no show is ever really perfect. Did I enjoy watching Survivor Series War Games? People might be mad, but yeah, I did. I enjoyed it. It was an easy watch for me. You know what I'm saying? I understand that maybe booking probably wasn't the way people wanted it to go, and people thought this and that was going to happen. But me personally, I really thought the show did everything that I needed as a fan. But that's just me, and I digress, and I'll let you go from there.
Yeah. There's a lot to say about it, and obviously I have my opinions on it. And obviously, if you guys are curious, you guys, want to drop your hot takes or whatever it may be. Obviously, everybody who's donating, everybody who's dropping super chats, we do read your questions. So, especially on the TikTok side of things, if you're dropping gifts, or if you join the fan club or anything of that nature, obviously that guarantees your questions, hot takes, comments will get read. Now, for example, I think it's funny because War Games to me is not as bad as a lot of people were making it sound. However, there's 4 matches on the card. I think they should have had. I think they should have had at least 1 or 2 more. I think the show, the booking decisions were fine. I think the matches were fine. I have a really negative take though on one match in particular, so I will talk about that. Yeah. But I'm taking a look at my TikTok chat, and some people are saying, well, hey, man, like the crowd was pretty meh. Like the crowd wasn't that great. How people react at a wrestling show, I don't give a shit about. Like if I'm being honest, because here's the thing.
Yeah, for sure.
These tickets are not cheap. You spend your money however the hell you want. You go do your thing. React how you feel. That's okay. The thing for me, though, with Survivor Series, and we'll obviously get more into the nitty gritty, but if there's one thing I will say is WWE, AEW, all of these companies right now, they're producing solid TV, solid shows. Nothing screams, oh my God, I must tune into this. I need to watch this. And that was the problem with War Games. Like, you could sit here and talk about match quality. You could talk about winners and losers.
For sure.
I think for me, it's not that so much of an issue. To me, it's more so of a, okay, what's that big thing that ropes me in? Like, even at the end, with like Cody and Roman, like, I'm down for a trilogy. I personally didn't think like, ooh,
really?
Yeah, I'm down for a trilogy. I think that's one of the best feuds WWE has had in forever. And I'm sure they'll do some great stuff with it. But to me, it's like, oh, like that's how you're ending War Games? Like, we got CM Punk's return at War Games before. So it's like, compare
Yeah,
the
it's
two.
hard to it's really hard to compare, right? Because of the things, and especially with like the lineage of like Survivor Series as a PLE, I guess, or a pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of lineage with it. You know what I mean? It's considered one of the big four pay-per-views, so you do expect a lot out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I agree with you in the sentiment of, yeah, I feel like, obviously what they did, it wasn't the worst thing in the world. But I mean, like you said, CM Punk returned at War Games and hell froze over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so it's just WWE. I think professional wrestling right now is just lacking that exciting, like, and we've said this before on our live streams, but it's just
Dude,
lacking
we've
that.
said it numerous times.
Yeah.
It's lacking that one big piece. You know what I mean? It again, I must say, it just feels like that one piece is missing, kind of like I said a moment ago. And it feels like WWE isn't like, of course they're trying to find that one thing, but in some cases, to me, it doesn't even feel like they're trying to reach for that next big thing. What's going to be that next big thing that pushes us forward? You know what I mean? Now, obviously, again, like we've said on this channel, like they have John Cena's, match coming up and stuff like that, and that's obviously a big deal. But what happens after that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest questions that I have about the current state of WWE is what happens next? Where do we go? And you said the trilogy. Okay. You said you're down for the trilogy. I don't know if I'm down for the trilogy. I don't, to be quite frank with you. I see what WWE is trying to do and how they're trying to maneuver it. You're never going to get that same energy back. You're never going to recreate what you had in 39 and 40. It's just not going to happen.
I disagree fundamentally with you 1,000,000% on that.
Okay. Yeah, please elaborate.
I mean, like, okay, so let's call it what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
WWE needs something exciting at this point. People are not going to be thrilled about a trilogy between Roman and Cody, but what if the tables have turned? What if we get heel Cody, babyface Roman, and The Rock is the reason?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
But what if The Rock is the reason that Cody sells his soul finally? And like, okay, now you got WrestleMania in Vegas and everything, everything everybody thought they expected. Oh, they're running it back. It's the same shit. Now it's completely changed. That could be the thing that gets people excited about WWE again. Cody as a WWE champion currently isn't really working for people. Like, it's good stuff, but now people want to see Drew. People want to see something new. What can we do to get people excited? Turn Cody heel, turn Roman babyface, have The Rock be the reason why Cody turned heel, and you do WrestleMania 42 in Vegas, Roman versus Rock. If Roman beats Rock, he gets Cody. Simple as that. Spit it out.
Oh, hold on. I guess I have one of the biggest problems with The Rock. That is my biggest gripe here. Getting The Rock involved in anything as recently just feels wrong. I don't know how they make up for what happened. Like, I'm always, and this is me personally, I understand that everybody's going to have a different take or a different view and things like that. I cannot grasp the idea that The Rock comes back after everything that happened with John Cena and the whole sell your soul thing. Dude, it completely ruined what was supposed to be such a special thing for John Cena. It completely ruined it. And you're telling me that you would have this guy come back, waltz into the company, and have him just kind of pretend like it never happened?
Well, brother, it's not that. I mean, you could pretend and not pretend this, that. It doesn't matter. Listen, the issue is WWE needs to hit the fucking panic button for WrestleMania. If you're going to do a trilogy,
Big time, I agree.
If you're going to do a trilogy for WrestleMania 42, and that's fine, I'm okay with it. Even if Cody's babyface, I don't care. But if you're going to run it back as a trilogy, I think you need to do it in a way where it's like, okay, let's kind of go back to what we knew works. Like, they know it works.
I guess that's fair, but I guess I just wonder about the time frame. Like, is not enough time passed for this match to matter as much as it would?
It will always matter. It will always matter.
Why is that the case, though? Why would it always matter? Because there has to be a time frame. Because, dude, we're sitting here on this YouTube channel right now talking about what happened 2 years ago.
Okay, perfect example. I'm going to tell you why. Because in professional wrestling, last week's episode could suck. This week's episode could be great. This week's episode could be anything that they want it to be. Even if it doesn't make sense, as long as people get their little freaking panties wet over it, it's good enough for the wrestling fan base and it's good enough for WWE.
Yeah.
Now, the reality is this. Let's just be real. And I say this to the hundreds of people watching us live right now. For everybody who is watching live, just understand one thing. No matter what the IWC, no matter what no matter what I say, no matter what Billy says, no matter what JD from New York says, no matter what Jim Cornette says, Eric Bischoff, no matter what Sean Ross Sapp or Dave Meltzer or any of these people, what culture, any website, any person talking on the internet, the reality is people are buying tickets to these shows. People are eating. People are going crazy. People are enjoying their time at WWE shows. So let's just call it what it is. Business is still good for WWE. Now, the issue that the IWC has all in common right now is it just needs something exciting. That is a fair analysis. The people that sit here and bash on absolutely everything, I don't think that's a fair analysis. But when you look at what is currently happening on the WWE product, I think most people are going to sit here and say, just give us something exciting. Personally speaking, I know this from my own past as a 15-year veteran of this content creation business. There had been times where Vince McMahon had terrible TV, goes to a pay-per-view and delivers something absolutely incredible, and it made up for the shitty TV that people were watching. So my point is, as long as people get excited and they have something to be excited about, it doesn't matter the logic or the reasoning or the mechanics of how they got there. Yes, it was the Roman and Rock thing is long overdue. It needs to happen.
For sure.
It needs to happen. So imagine if The Rock and Cody were the ones to team up after everything that happened in the last few years. People are going to sit there and get excited about it. There's nobody who's going to sit there and be like, oh, this is whack.
There will be people that sit there and say that it's whack.
Genuinely saying,
I don't agree.
Those same people, listen, brother, the same people who will say that, you're going to go back and trace to history where they're like, this is the greatest cinema bullshit in the world.
Yeah.
Come on. We know this. We know this with professional wrestling fans. Excuse me. But I'm just saying what WWE needs right now is something exciting. And I think that's the solution. I really do.
Okay. I mean, I'm not going to argue too much about it. I could see how WWE, like it is a smart business strategy at the end of the day. Like you said, people are buying tickets no matter what. It's kind of like the same conversation that I have about, I talked about it on my live stream on Saturday when we were live for Survivor Series. Everybody was so pissed about Jey Uso and the whole cage thing and the way that was happening. And I was just, I amplified it more and more. I said, dude, I remember being a kid. And I remember being, the biggest John Cena fan, right? The whole "you can't see me" armbands on. That's how I grew up, right? And I remember I went to WrestleMania 23. There were some old heads sitting behind me. I can't stand this guy. He's the worst thing that ever happened to the wrestling business. It's the same cycle that we're watching being repeated.
Yeah.
It's just with a different person.
Yeah. So
everybody who does say these things, like, it really doesn't matter because, dude, no matter what, WWE has always been for the kids, and that's just something that they've always pointed to was, hey, we rely so heavy on the kids, and that's who we're trying to sell to and things of that nature, because at the end of the day, they're the ones buying the merchandise. They're the ones buying the tickets. Dude, we're sitting on Twitter or YouTube or whatever, bitching, moaning and complaining.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I oftentimes wonder, I'm like, oh man, like WWE, like we said, people are just complaining just to complain.
Yeah, and like I said, I think when you watch War Games, you just need to realize, like, it's really not that bad of a show. And by the way, like I said, I have a very negative take. I have something I'm going to go off on, by the way. But it's not like terrible.
Can't wait.
It's not like there's some terrible ass show. Like, some people were saying, oh, this was worse than WrestlePalooza. And I'm just like, okay, hold on.
No.
Oh, and I get it, man. Like, WWE just has a different in-ring style. But, like, what are we talking about? These matches were fine. You know what I'm saying? So,
for sure. People really get mad at the whole in-ring thing. Everybody's like, oh, the chemistry inside of the ring and the way that they're telling the story inside of the ring. It's like, hold on, dude. Just because every single match isn't some catastrophic 10 out of 10 monstrosity, with a hardcore style, throwing each other around. Like, just because it's not that style of match doesn't mean that it's not good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh,
I think people watch pro wrestling as a sport, and I think the people that do, and don't get me wrong, I'll watch it as a sport from time to time, but I think the people that genuinely watch it as like this like heavy, hitting pro wrestling sport, you have to remember that sports have so many different mechanics, and wrestling is no different.
Yeah.
You have the in-ring action, but then you have the storytelling, which also adds to the sport of pro wrestling. And some places just do others better than others. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just a couple shout outs. Right Hand Cam extended his pro membership for 2 months. So shout out to him. He said the show was fine in the middle of the road. And then I want to give a shout out to Wolf Bane on TikTok. He sent a rose. So shout out to Wolf Bane. Everybody in the TikTok chat is absolutely crushing it right now. And so shout out to them. But listen, man, I think right now what we need to really address is this. There seems to be this misconception about WWE that the matches are terrible. And
Correct.
I don't agree with that. There was a terrible match, in my opinion, at Survivor Series. So let's talk about the match that nobody's talking about, and it's the match that didn't deserve to be on the card. And I hate to be this negative Nancy about it, but we're going to talk about it. Stephanie Vakir and Nikki Bella had no place on being in this card. It had no business being on this card.
No, you're absolutely right.
Not that it's an outright terrible in-ring match, but it is very clear that Stephanie Vakir, the way that her like in-ring ability is, she should be going after Io Sky and having bangers with Io Sky. She should be in the ring with Julia, and she should be in the ring with Rhea, and she should be in the ring with some of these women who are truly known as in-ring experts, right? And I think when I look at Survivor Series War Games, this is my criticism of the show. And Billy, tell me what you guys think. Chat, tell me what you guys think. I think when you look at John Cena and Dom, you could sit there and talk about overbooked or whatever, and we'll talk about that. But that match was a feel-good thing. It was fun. It had its moments. The women's War Games and the men's War Games, it had its spots. It had its moments. But I cannot find a positive for Nikki and Stephanie other than the fact that Stephanie carried the entire match. So when you have 4 matches on a card and 3 of them are good enough and one is just outright not enjoyable to watch, that's my criticism. This is where I want to talk about WWE, and they have to learn how to perhaps change course a little bit, because somebody in that creative boardroom is doing a favor for Nikki Bella and giving her that opportunity when, quite frankly, you could have put Lyra in the ring with Stephanie. They would have gone out there and killed it. You could have put a variety of women on that match instead, and it was it. Now, Thomas Lewis on TikTok says it was a filler. Get over it. That's my criticism. It's a 4-match card. People are paying $30 a month for ESPN Unlimited. And in addition to that,
why are we having fillers?
No. You can have a filler on a pay-per-view. You don't do a filler on a 4 or 5 match card.
A 4-match card. That's the point. Yeah. Why are we putting a filler on a 4-match card?
So let's not make excuses, because you got to criticize and you got to be valid and you got to be fair, right? But let's not sit here and act like that's acceptable. Not when people are spending $30,000 on tickets to go to a show.
Correct.
That's the problem.
Sure.
Nikki Bella should have not been on the card.
No, not. I mean, you could have had her on the card, just not against Stephanie. You could have done something else with her, but against Stephanie, it made absolutely no sense. I actually agree with this sentiment. Stephanie fully carried that match. It was almost. I'm just gonna shit on it a little bit. It was almost unbearable for me in some cases. I felt like Stephanie really just kind of took home that match. And again, there's nothing wrong with Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella is she's obviously a lot of history with WWE, done a lot with the company, whatever. But Stephanie is just levels above, dude. She just is. Like you said, Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, whoever you want to get her involved with, there are numerous names other than Nikki Bella. And the fact that we chose to do Nikki Bella is kind of outrageous, because I don't know. And I understand the whole heel turn dynamic of it. I want to make that clear. Like they did the heel turn and that was cool. I just don't know if it necessarily made sense with Stephanie, because it felt like WWE was just doing Nikki Bella just for the name.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah. And that to me is wrong. You know what I mean? That to me feels like, okay, and I digress when I say this because they didn't actually rob anybody, but it feels like you're robbing people out of their money when you do shit like that.
Yeah, so that's clearly an issue, right? Like, you got to think for a second, like, people are just spending so much to have this product, and I don't know the circumstance backstage or how WWE came to that conclusion, but it's just, I struggle with this notion that out of the stacked women's roster that you have, you put somebody who is not known for her in-ring ability with someone who is known for her in-ring ability. And it wasn't like the match was terrible. It's just, keep that on Raw. Or put that on,
for sure.
Or put that on Saturday night's main event. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, dude, that's not something that we have to put on a regular PLE.
You know, they were better off, honest to God. Like, if they really wanted to, they could have done something with Jade Cargill instead with, you know,
absolutely,
Chelsea Green or whatever. Like,
her and Chelsea Green, yep.
Or you could have done, you know, a tag team championship match. Like,
yep.
This is where I got frustrated with War Games. Survivor Series was like, it wasn't a bad show. It wasn't that bad, but this is where I question WWE because, in all fairness, it's the one thing where it's like, I'm watching the show and I just did not care about that match. And I really, you guys know, anybody who's known me for the last 15 years of doing this content, like, I don't even really talk about poor match quality, or I don't talk about a wrestler's in-ring ability because I'm not a wrestler. I don't know the first thing about freaking...
Yeah, it's hard to say anything not being a wrestler.
Yeah, if you're not a cook in the kitchen, you can't criticize somebody's food. You know what I mean? You could be a food critic, but like to criticize someone's actual ability, it's rather difficult. It's very rare that I do that. But it's just, you have to have common sense here, and you have to look and realize Nikki Bella is not on Stephanie's level from an in-ring ability. And that's okay. That's okay. I don't think you waste a 4-match card. I don't think you put that match on a 4-match card and call it a day. Even if it's your slow down match, you know, before the main event, and it's your breather.
It doesn't matter. You only have 4 matches.
Yeah, like, what about maybe the New Day having a tag team match, or
Aleister Black and Damian Priest would have been great.
Yeah, like, there's just so much they could have done there. And I feel like that was one of those things where, okay, if we want to criticize Survivor Series for that reason, I'm 100% down. 100% down. But for any other reason, I really can't see the reason. That's where I'm starting to struggle a little bit. That's where maybe I don't align with the internet wrestling community, because the truth is, I did not feel like it was a waste of time for me. And then you have a whole bunch of other people, Billy, where they sit there and you know what they do? They're comparing it to Blood and Guts.
Yeah. Oh God. I know. To
me, like, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's hard to compare the two, right? How do you compare the two? They're obviously two separate companies. They do them different ways.
Yeah, I mean, it's just really different, and
for sure. I mean, the thing is you can be a critic to both of them. You can. You're allowed to critique both of these if you want to. You know what I'm saying? But to say one was better than the other, I don't personally agree with that. I think there's fair criticisms for both. You know what I'm saying? Blood and Guts obviously had what it had, and you know, maybe I would have done it a little bit differently. But again, it goes down to what you enjoy about pro wrestling. It really does. These two comparisons genuinely describe exactly what a pro wrestling fan goes through. What do you enjoy about pro wrestling? If you're more for the in-ring, hard-hitting, you know, beat the hell out of anybody, but there's no real story involved, Blood and Guts is probably your thing. If we're going for War Games and we're looking at WWE and we're looking at it from the standpoint of, okay, I enjoy pro wrestling for the storytelling. Well, there was a lot of storytelling inside of this War Games match. There was. Inside of the ring.
I don't think people realize.
Wrestling may not have been the greatest thing.
Yeah.
But it was, you know what I'm saying?
I don't think
the storytelling was good.
I don't think people realize, though, with WWE, if they wanted to do all the blood and bullshit, like if they really wanted to do that, they could. business wise, it doesn't make sense for them, and that's why they're not going to do that, and that's okay. But the reality is this: I'm not going to sit here and compare. I don't give a shit about both of these companies like that. And I do want to preface everything by telling you guys I did receive a $1 billion check from Nick Khan personally to say this.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. So WWE is
Congrats,
better.
brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, congrats.
$1 billion. Everybody will be taken care of forever. And we'll just start giving away the money to everybody here on TikTok and YouTube and Twitter
guys,
and everything.
I actually just got I just got my cut.
Yeah. So that's, you guys consider that your stimulus checks. I do more for y'all than the president of the U.S. Might as well vote for me. But no, see how silly that shit sounds though? It's like, bro, we are literally at a time in professional wrestling. These companies do two different things. They're two different companies. The comparisons between match types, you cannot sit there and talk about. We already know which ones have the better match quality in the sense of like in-ring ability, right? That
Absolutely.
to me, listen, the way I say is put your money where your mouth is. Like there's a lot of times where I tend to I've actually said this a lot. Like people will ask me, why aren't you going to WWE shows anymore? Why aren't you going to AEW shows anymore? I don't enjoy going to the shows anymore. Like it's just the way it is.
It's just what it is.
It is what it is. I like the comfort of being in my own home. You know why? Because if I spent $5,000 to go to War Games and I got that Nikki Bella and Stephanie Vakir match, I'm gonna feel like I got cheated out of $5,000 because watching 3 matches and that stinker ain't making me happy.
He said that stinker's not. I'm going home piss poor.
It ain't making me happy, bro. It ain't making me happy. So what the fuck? If I spent 5 G's on that, like I'm straight.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I get it 100%. Like you said, if I spent money on that, I'd be livid.
5 G's and not even for first row. Not even for first row.
Facts. I'm not even in first row. I'm somewhere far in the back. Maybe on the floor, but I'm in the back. And I can't see nothing.
Yeah. I did want to shout out Surge on TikTok. He dropped a finger heart. So that's another gift right there. So shout out to Surge. King Wolf actually did make a really good point, though, and I wanted to point this out. He did say TKO has UFC, and you could bleed there, so why not let WWE bleed again? I think the UFC argument, it's fair, because technically speaking, if WWE didn't want to pander to family audiences, I think they would have that opportunity to do that. Like, I don't think TKO would care. I don't think it's more of a TKO decision in the sense of, like, anything other than they want a different audience for WWE. I think they do want that family-oriented audience. But I did want to point that out. Though, because I do feel as if WWE really wanted to go to those extreme lengths that they've gone in the past and what we currently see with AEW, I think WWE could do it. Quite frankly, if I'm going to be very honest with you guys, and this is me selfishly, this is not me, this is me speaking to y'all as if I was like trying to, for myself, like just from my personal viewing experience, I would like to see WWE kind of push the envelope a little bit. I think, it doesn't have to be overdone because I'm not into the whole blood thing myself. But I think for me personally, it would be nice for WWE for once in a while, just really go crazy. Like we saw with Drew McIntyre and Punk, right?
Yeah, I was about to say, it wasn't Punk bleeding during the War Games match?
And this one?
Yeah.
I don't even remember at this point.
I think he was.
But like I'm talking when he fought Hell in a Cell.
So the Hell in a Cell match. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like that was okay. Like you get where I'm coming from though. Like do it once in a while. You don't have to do it all the time. But like War Games as a stipulation, personally speaking, I think should
have a little bit more blood or something along those lines, just because of the whole definition of it being in a war.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying? These guys are supposed to be fighting in a war.
But let's just cut the shit, right? Let's just say what it is, okay? Disagree if you choose, whatever. But like AEW, my hot take with AEW is like 6 matches on a pay-per-view all have extreme blood and guts and craziness, right? But then you just do blood and guts Dynamite and it's like it's not as special. Okay, for some people that's not a big deal. For me, it's like, okay, it's too much, bro. That's the only thing you're doing. Like, do something a little bit different, right? If WWE and AEW were like, dude, this is a coffin match or it's an ambulance match, and they do it once every few months, and dude, it's just straight up brutal, I think it'd be fire.
For sure. It's like you said, it's kind of like, we go back to that Hell in a Cell match and you remember the Hell in a Cell for as brutal as it was. That's what made it so, fun. After not seeing the Hell in a Cell for quite some time. And then obviously, I don't think we've seen the Hell in a Cell since then. That was obviously Bad Blood 2024. So that was a while ago. But now it's like, WWE has the opportunity to, kind of like you said, not every single match. You don't have to do it all the time. But be rare with it,
Yeah.
and make it exciting. And again, maybe don't do it in a regular exhibition match.
Yeah.
But if you want to have, like you said, like a coffin match or a street fight or something, don't be afraid to throw it in there.
Yeah.
You obviously have the opportunity. You're on Netflix. You know what I'm saying? Things are a little bit different for you now. So, yeah, I agree with that sentiment. I don't think it's the worst. But like I said, I do think Punk and Cody were bleeding in the War Games.
Do
I think it could have been a little more brutal? Yes.
I'm just saying, and this will lead to a conversation, so we'll transition. But
sure.
Shout out to Serge again. He dropped another gift. He dropped a Heart Me. And then Al Kameko, I probably pronounced that incorrectly, but Al Kamiko also dropped another gift on TikTok Live. So shout out to them. I appreciate that.
Real fast, I just want to say shout out to Sharon Dye. She dropped a $1.99 super chat over on my channel. She said, "Sorry, I was not in your watch along. It's okay, Sharon. Thank you for the $1.99 super chat."
Fire. So that leads to another conversation. Should WWE, I think you know what's coming. Should WWE retire the War Games gimmick and bring back the traditional Survivor Series match for next year?
It depends. It really does. It depends. It kind of goes back to the conversation we just had, right? Of, are we going to be afraid of making this match a little bit more brutal while also still offering the storytelling? Because I think if you do both inside of that match, then you're in a really good spot. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not going to do that, yeah, I think go back to the traditional 5-on-5 thing and, go back to the SmackDown and the Raw matches and whatever. I don't hate that. It wasn't the worst thing ever, but obviously War Games is so special and I enjoy War Games. And I think a lot of people here enjoy War Games and the stipulation behind it. But really at the end of the day, I mean, if you're not going to utilize the War Games correctly, yeah, probably go away from it. But I'll leave it up to you now and what you have to say.
Now, do you think that's enough to get people in a stadium?
No, I don't. I think they'll be right back in an arena.
Don't be surprised. Survivor Series going 2 nights, War Games. It's going to stick. But sometimes I do wonder if the War Games stipulation is kind of overplayed out. And the reason for this, AEW does Blood and Guts, WWE does War Games, MLW does War Chamber. I get the sense that maybe this is becoming a little too much. Maybe WWE and TKO should think of a new gimmick match, or maybe bring back the Punjabi prison match or something.
Hell no, dude, I've heard horrible stories about that Punjabi prison.
I'm just saying, it's just food for thought.
Something different, though. I get what you're saying.
Maybe it's time because
everybody's doing it. It's almost like a trend at this point.
Yeah, and you could tell, I get it. I understand it, but...
And I think there's too much comparison that people can do, and I think that's why people, maybe didn't like War Games, is because of how much comparison that exists out there. Because like you said, you have the War Chamber, you can compare it to that. You have Blood and Guts, you can compare it to that. Those are already two major matches that could easily be compared to, and WWE just kind of falls under that umbrella. And I think, knowing WWE, they will try to they'll try to create something new if they feel that this doesn't continue, but that's just me.
Yeah. Undisputed J sent a gift as well. He dropped a Heart Me, so shout out to Undisputed J. I do want to kind of switch gears. I want to talk a little bit about the John Cena stuff, because John Cena versus Dominic Mysterio seems to have caught a little bit of flack online, but I think it's just what I saw, right? I think a lot of people saw this match and they're like, oh, it's overbooked, it's over this, it's this, that, blah, blah. What do you think, genuinely speaking, of the John Cena last ever PLE match?
Oh, dude, it was everything that I wanted from John Cena. Can I be honest? It was 1000% For John Cena in this spot, you had to think he was going in as the Intercontinental Champion. Obviously, you and I had numerous conversations about whether he would go into his final match as the Intercontinental Champion or not, and that was kind of going to determine how we felt about the final opponent that he was going to face off against, which is obviously still yet to be seen. But when I look at this match and I think about how overbooked it was, right? You talk about Finn Balor, JD, Roxanne, Raquel, and then Liv at the end. When I think about this match, I think it's a test to John Cena and who he is and like his character, right? Because John Cena has always been known for this guy, like, oh, we'll never put anybody over, nothing of that nature. He's, Mr. Barium, you know what I'm saying? And then obviously we have this kid, Dominic Mysterio, who's just kind of been grinding more than anybody on the WWE roster, I think. I think he's the hardest worker there. Maybe even you can make an argument in all of pro wrestling the way that this guy's working. I mean, he's working numerous companies, SmackDown, whatever. WWE kind of gives that ball in San Diego, California, Dominic Mysterio's hometown, ultimately as a heel to defeat John Cena, win back his Intercontinental Championship. He's obviously got Liv back, which is good stuff. Do I think that people hated it again, kind of going back to the War Games situation because of the quote unquote in-ring style? You know what I mean? Sure. But if you were expecting this 5-star classic between, John and Dominic, then I think that's more of a you problem. I thought John Cena and AJ Styles was going to be a clinic because I've seen them have a clinic. I've never seen Cena and Dominic have a clinic, so I don't have those expectations built in my head. I think about WWE and their style and how they're going to pursue a match like this, and I think, okay, they're gonna play it safe. And sure shit, that's what they did. So if you're mad about that, that's just a you problem, dude. That's just me personally, and I'm done talking now.
When has John Cena ever been known for like really being a great wrestler, though?
That's the whole point. That's what I'm trying to say here. The reason why, if you go back and you watch some of the videos and the live streams that we've done where we've talked about, I've even said it like, oh yeah, he'll put on a 5-star clinic with AJ Styles. Why? Him and AJ have really good in-ring chemistry, and I think AJ brings the best out of him. I'm not expecting Dominic Mysterio to bring out this clinic from John Cena. You're right. He's never been known as this amazing pro wrestler. You know what I mean? So for people to think that, I think it's silly.
Yeah, I never watched a John Cena match in my life. Even when I was a kid, I never watched a John Cena match because I'm like, oh my God, he's the greatest wrestler. It's just John Cena is one of the best entertainers, and that's why I love.
He was match. Just always putting like a really good story.
I love the match. I thought the match was,
dude, it was great. I loved it for what it was. I thought it was great.
Oh.
Hate me if you want to. I thought it was wonderful.
It looked funny.
Liv Morgan coming back, that was cool.
Yeah. Oh, and we'll talk about Liv Morgan because there's a couple moments where WWE did have the surprises and stuff, but
for sure.
I thought it was funny. In my opinion, I'm watching John Cena get hit with a pop rocks by freaking Roxanne Perez.
Dude, the Tahana bomb?
Yeah.
Come on now. That was great.
People enjoy it, man.
And talk about Dominic Mysterio. Talk about how good he is, dude. He fell on the ground after that powerbomb on the outside of the ring. I was like, oh, snap. Dom's hurt for real. They got to stop this match. Horrible way for this to finish. That was not the case. Dude is amazing.
Yeah. My thing is, I just think the wrestling like fan base is insufferable, to be honest. Because it's like you can't hate on absolute like everything that's happening. Like, I don't think it's that big of a deal, man. Like, I thought it was fun for what it was, and you swerve people with the Dom stuff and the injury, and you don't know, like, are they calling an audible or whatever? And like, it really did look like a really big botch and looked really messed up. And
yeah, dude, it did. It looked like he fell on his shoulder horribly.
Yeah, like, we just saw what happened with Penta too. So it's like, okay, like, I thought it was fun, man. I don't know. Like, to me, I think there's a lot of people who will just complain about absolutely everything.
Dude, that's what I was kind of saying. We've been talking about this whole time. It's true. People will just continuously complain and complain and complain and complain and then complain some more.
If you guys are watching on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, all that good stuff, be careful who you follow, bro. Because I swear to God, I'm telling you guys right now, if you guys have negative people in your life and all you do is watch negative content, it makes you feel like the world is ending. I got people right now in the TikTok chat being like, oh, the whole industry's done. Like WWE's finished. Like, man, WWE,
Yeah, bro. Come on now.
these billion-dollar ass companies are never going out of business unless they're like straight up going to sell and like shut
dude,
their
if they're
doors.
done with it themselves. That's the only way this shit ends.
Yeah, like there is a reason why wrestling companies are getting the big dollars for TV and everything else isn't.
Listen. Even us sitting here complaining about Nikki and Stephanie, that's not the end all be all.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it's over. Just because WWE had this one bad match on a PLE. Although I could see why people would be pissed off.
Oh, like I said, it's my hot take. That was
For sure.
idiocracy. That was like Triple H. What are you doing? Sometimes, hey, low key, this is a hot take. Sometimes I don't even think Triple H is running absolutely everything anymore.
Who's been saying that?
I know.
Who's been saying that?
I know, but there's something about it. I feel like I feel like he has the final say. I just think there's other stuff there. Kind of like,
Correct.
yeah, which is fine.
But I feel like there's things above him too. I've been saying that. There's no way you go from what you did in NXT and what you did in the first couple years on the main roster to what we're seeing now. I just don't believe it. Do I understand people having creative blocks and stuff like that? Absolutely. I think we all run into them, especially as creatives. But at the end of the day, nothing like this. I don't see the Triple H that I know, not that I know, but you know what I'm saying. The Triple H that I remember and watched in the product that he put out, I just don't think this is the type of product that he would put out. That's all I'm saying.
You know, it's so funny. This is so funny, but Triple H, if you're feeling a creative burnout, dog, I got you.
He says, bro, call me. I got great ideas.
It would be what I would like is to go incognito and write for AEW or WWE. And for every person in the internet. And by the way, let's just talk about this.
Yeah, let's do it.
Almost 100 million total views. I've had a fair share of millions of people watch me. And yes, most of it has been, almost all of it's positive. But for all the people that hate on my takes, just know, and I say this with a full ass ego, and I do not give a shit. I stare directly into the camera when I say this. Just know that if I were to write for WWE or AEW, you guys would all be creaming yourselves, tweeting about it and making hot take videos about how it's the greatest thing in the world. And I don't even give a shit that I said it out loud. That's just the truth.
Well, WWE, you know who to call. AEW, you know who to call. The guy's here. He said it.
Dead ass. That's
I believe
the confidence.
You. I believe you, which is crazy. Because I sit here and I hear the conversations that we have, and I think just numerous conversations that we had over the years. I do believe him. I think this guy could make a great run as a writer in some case scenario.
And I would never have creative burnout because I haven't had creative burnout in 15 years.
And here's the kicker about that. That's hard to say. That one's a little hard to say. Saying that I'd have no creative burnout, that's a little insane. You never know.
It's funny though. Like I said it, like I say it with so much confidence, but that's just truly what it is. I know deep down inside, because when you analyze the business, you understand the business things. So you understand the business aspect based on how television works. So you got to look at the model. So the model for WWE is they're not selling pay-per-views, they're selling TV deals. That's what they're gunning for. So
WWE's whole point is to sell a TV deal.
You cannot give a payoff every week on TV, and you cannot give a payoff on every pay-per-view. It's mix and match. You got to get both, right?
Mm-hmm.
As a writer, I would ensure that these wrestling companies would never be creatively bankrupt. And I'm not talking fantasy booking La La Land type shit. I would say, give me the list of wrestlers you want to use right now. I'm not saying, let me just push some random guy that doesn't get used. I'm going to say, give me this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to construct 365 days worth of story for that person. And then give me another 2 people. I'm going to do the same thing for them. And this is how it's all going to meet up at the end. And this is how we get there.
Yeah. I like it.
I'd be the greatest booker in the world. I have no problem saying that out loud.
I'd be the greatest booker. Well, what are you doing, bro? Start a company. Do something. Hurry up.
I swear to God, I would.
We need some good pro wrestling in our lives.
The thing about pro wrestling, you start to see this with these indie companies. It's
Mm-hmm.
a very, very lucrative business, but it's a very big business that is so easy to lose money in because it's a very
sure.
high cost to produce.
Absolutely. I'm talking shit.
Yeah.
Trust me, I know.
But I will tell you this. I don't need a billionaire. Billy Corgan. I don't know if you make billions, but Billy Corgan.
He said, "I'll make NWA the greatest thing the greatest thing since sliced bread."
The funny thing is, Billy Corgan's actually not bad with creative either. Some of the
No,
coolest
he's
stuff
not. He's not.
when he was in TNA helping out TNA back in the day for Impact.
Mhm.
He
Yeah.
was helping them a lot creatively, and he was good. So there's things where it's like, just bring me in, somebody bring me in, and I would change the whole
He said, "I'll
trajectory of
make
the
it
company.
happen, dude."
I swear, I would change the whole trajectory of the company because what would happen is this: every single person would be satisfied. You know that slogan where they say you can't win them all? No, I'm gonna win them all over. Because what I would do is essentially, I'm not focusing on the in-ring component at all. But my storylines are going to be driven to put people who actually have compatibility in the ring together. So that way the focus isn't the in-ring, but I know when they go out there, they're going to tear it down, like they're going to go crazy. So
Yeah.
that to me is how I perceive professional wrestling, which is why
That's fair, too.
I want to circle back though to who made the decision to think Nikki Bella and Stephanie Vakir is like this pay-per-view model match.
Yeah, I don't know who did that. I feel like I was robbed a little bit. That's just me. But, who am I at the end of the day? WWE did it. I mean, am I upset about it? Yeah, for sure. I definitely thought it was one of the more pointless matches. So I don't know.
But there's just so much they could have done with, like, why not just bring Brie Bella back, right? Like, you bring Brie Bella back and Nikki and Brie get to go out there and do tag team stuff, and it's like, that's fine, By the way, and there is going to be another talking point that we have, but when we get to the point of talking about the whole pay-per-view, you have moments of good happening in between every match. I couldn't find one for Stephanie and Nikki.
That's because there wasn't one. It felt like a squash match.
It really did feel like Stephanie was just carrying it. And again, I'm not trying to bury Nikki Bella, but like, that's what it felt like. With like the men's match, like some people were like, it didn't have a surprise. It didn't have surprises. It didn't have big moments. Dog,
Whatever.
We had a masked man show up. What are we talking about?
So what are we talking about, bro? Something happened.
Right? Like, am I tripping?
For sure. No, you're not. That's another thing I wanted to talk about, the masked man.
Let's talk about it.
It's already been revealed, hasn't it?
Officially from WWE, no. I mean,
okay, yeah, I didn't think so.
I know, like,
but obviously people have put two and two together.
I mean, dude, you just look at him, you knew it was Austin Theory.
I beg to differ, dude. The first time I seen it, I was like, it's Randy Orton.
No.
Because of the way like his shoulder was.
No.
Yeah. I mean, at first I definitely thought. Do I agree with everybody in the sentiment now that it's Austin Theory? Correcto mundo. But did I at first? No, dude, you can actually see like my live reaction if you guys follow me on TikTok or anywhere else. You can see my live reaction. I was like, it's Randy Orton. Then I seen the stop. I was like, is it Seth? And then I was like, wait, no, it's not Seth. And then I thought about it for a second. I was like, oh no, that's definitely Austin Theory.
Yeah, it's Austin Theory. But Austin Theory was supposed to be in the match, and I will say this.
Go
ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. Come on, chop.
Dude, I was gonna say, what do you think happens now with Austin Theory though in this case scenario?
He joins the Vision, leads the Vision, goes on to defeat CM Punk.
Do you think he actually leads the Vision?
Yeah.
Really?
Well,
why do you think he leads it?
It would be smart for him to lead the group.
For somebody who's never really had a vision, I think that one's a little bit questionable.
I think if you're smart, you have Austin Theory lead the group with Paul Heyman calling all the shots. And I think you build up a super feud between Austin Theory being a top heel against Seth Rollins.
Well, obviously they just kickstarted something with him and CM Punk. Maybe that's a match they do at like the Royal Rumble or something like that.
I mean, imagine that for Austin Theory, like you just made him a massive star.
Yeah, you just made a superstar. You just created a superstar. You really did.
sometimes I would question why WWE would put Theory as a heel, despite the crowd going crazy for him as a babyface before he got injured. But then I think about it, and I'm like, right now in the current landscape, like with LA Knight and Jey Uso and some of the baby faces, I would actually much
It's almost
rather,
better to have him as a heel.
yeah, I don't think it's beneficial to be a babyface because I feel like baby faces are not being positioned well on WWE TV.
No, because the problem is you have guys like CM Punk and Cody Rhodes who exist. I love them both, but they exist in this landscape. Roman Reigns exists. You know what I mean? It's hard to be like this, like almost top of the card, but not fully at the top of the card babyface. Because you see Jey Uso and he wins the championship and then ultimately gets pulled back. And WWE is like, nah, I don't want to do that. LA Knight has had numerous times where they could have been like, okay, we're going to put the rocket on your back and send them to the moon. And then they just pull back at it. Why? Because Cody, Punk, whoever all exist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's difficult. It's very difficult. Actually, I made a video earlier, and it'll be out around 4 p.m. if people want to check it out, where I actually talk about this certain sentiment exactly. So I fully get it. You're right. I think he works better as a heel.
I think with Theory, maybe I'm wrong too, but I think with Theory, they have something very interesting here because Paul Heyman has always been a big believer in Austin Theory long before his journey in WWE began. I think we have to acknowledge the fact that, unfortunately, we have seen, let's just call it what it is. We've seen like Vince McMahon screw him over. Triple H kind of was not put in a position to help any further. I mean, he was already screwed by Vince. And
well, I feel like Triple H thought it was rushed for Austin Theory because of Vince McMahon.
Yeah, so I think it screwed Triple H over, and not to defend him, but I think Vince tainted Theory's reputation very poorly, and he did it very quickly.
For somebody that was supposed to be so massive.
And then
I agree.
And then I think Triple H was kind of screwed over because of the Money in the Bank thing.
Yeah.
Now I think they rehabilitated him with the tag team with Grayson Waller to the point where now when he's solo,
you think we'll be able to just kind of forget about all this?
I think this will be the thing that officially fixes it.
I agree 1,000%.
And if Triple
I
H,
love Austin Theory. I've been a fan of the guy.
and if Triple H rehabs Austin Theory, then that's a big W for Triple H because it's a very difficult task.
For sure, because of the things that Austin Theory went through. Like you said, it's the Vince thing. It's the Money in the Bank situation. There were numerous times where this guy was just booked the complete wrong way. He had that feud with John Cena so many years ago, and John Cena, I think, said it best. Austin Theory had zero identity because of Vince.
Yeah,
zero. So if he comes in, Triple H gives him an identity, for sure. That's a big thumbs up for Triple H. Boom. You there? Where'd he go? Oh no. Did something happen? Are we still alive? Maybe he's coughing. I think he might be coughing. Maybe. Can you guys still see me? I hope so. I can't hear Angle. I don't know what happened. Oh, there he is. Dude, I was so confused. I'm like, where'd he go?
Holy shit.
You all right, brother?
No.
No. At least he's on it. Oh, God. I was like, oh, shit. What happened to my friend? He is muted. Oh, shout out to everybody in my chat for saving me because I was ready to be like, all right, I guess I'm clicking off.
Yo, that's crazy.
Everybody check on your friends. Some of them leave you high and dry and they're sick.
Bro, Well, we all got hit with the flu or some shit.
Yeah, I remember you texted me and telling me about it.
It was like COVID-21. Like, I don't know. It's like some new.
Oh God,
bro,
it's horrid.
Well, the thing is, I'm sitting on cough drops. I'm keeping my mouth like my throat hydrated and shit. I'm sitting there. I'm like dying. I'm like, what the fuck? Nice, dude.
That was sick, brother. You're sick.
That was crazy. Where were we?
Oh God, I don't remember. I almost lost you.
Nah, man, we good. We good.
He said we good. No, I think the last thing that we left off with was just how it would be a big W for Triple H if he rehabs Austin Theory.
Yeah, it's a tough task.
For sure. It is. Again, just kind of going back to everything that happened. But I think Trips is going to do it, dog.
I mean, tonight, Triple H is promising a very epic Raw.
Okay, all right. Yep, I got something to say about this shit. Hold on. I got something. No. Stop it. Stop saying that. Just put the TV show on. Just do it. I do not care if you think that the show is going to be epic. I do not. Unless you have something epic in store for me, I do not care. And I'm just going to leave it there. That's it. Triple H, Tony Khan, all these, oh my God, all these bookers just need to stop. That's it.
No, I said it before too. I get it. I'm with it.
Yeah, because I seen that this morning. I was like, did he really say that again? And I'm like, oh, he sure as hell said it again.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I understand we're on the road to the Royal Rumble technically now, so maybe things hopefully will pick up, but that's to be seen.
I agree. It's very hard for me to disagree with that. It's been a point that I've made.
Kind of nailed home.
Yeah, I mean, it's something I've mentioned a million times. I will say though, I would love for Monday Night Raw to open up with some chaos. Meaning, CM Punk does a promo in the ring. I got attacked, blah, blah. I'd have him get attacked again, and then the reveal is Austin Theory. And I really
think we should do the reveal at the end of the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that would be like the best maneuver to this is, like you said, kind of have him kick off the show, a little bit of chaos, doesn't reveal himself. It's a very heel thing to do, to not reveal yourself immediately. Wait till the end of the show, then do the reveal. Fans go home, finally know who it is, et cetera, et cetera. Do I think that will make the show epic? No, I think it'll just follow up Survivor Series.
I mean, I still think that would make it a big episode. I mean, you got to think there's...
For sure, it'll be big. But I don't think it's like, oh my God, I must tune into this tonight.
So let's see. What is confirmed for tonight's show? Gunther versus Solo Sikoa, LA Knight versus Jey Uso.
Yep.
Dragon Lee and AJ Styles versus New Day, Tag Team Championship. That's all that's confirmed. That's going to be fun. Tag team match. I mean,
and then I can imagine it's almost a guarantee that we're getting something of CM Punk.
Yeah, this should probably be a fun episode of Raw. To
sit there
and say epic, I don't know. Maybe that's a little.
That's the problem. That's the problem. Do I think it'll be fun? Absolutely. Am I tuning in? Absolutely. I'm a pro wrestling content creator. I'm tuning in. I'll be there. Come join my watch along. But do I think that it's epic? No, I don't. I'll be 1,000% transparent. I do not.
I also find it mad cringe whenever somebody says the word epic.
Yes, bro. Yes. Tonight's show is gonna be epic, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just a me thing. Like, I don't know, like the epic thing.
Oh, Triple H, what a guy. You know what I'm saying?
There's a couple things I want to point out regarding Raw tonight. But I just wanted to take a quick second and say shout out to everybody who's watching on the Red app as well as TikTok Live. Over 5,000 likes on TikTok, so shout out to the gang over there.
Let's go.
I want to say something about tonight's Raw. And it has a little bit less to do with Epic and this and that. But what it really has more to do with is, will WWE, we're going 2 months without a pay-per-view now?
Yeah, so, okay. So WWE, obviously, on the off months have Saturday night's main event.
Yeah.
But I do think when is the Royal Rumble? Is it in February?
I could have sworn it was February of Saudi Arabia.
I don't think it is.
WWE Royal Rumble 2026. January 31st in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
Okay, so just about.
Yeah.
Yeah, just about 2 months, no PLE. Well, I'm actually kind of happy about that. Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
That makes me kind of happy. Because I feel like the more you do PLEs, the more tiresome they get. I'm cool with this.
No,
I'll wait.
I'm go with it. Don't make me wait 2 weeks before January 31st to figure out what's going on for the Royal Rumble. Set the stage tonight.
Let's start moving now.
Set the stage now. Do it today. Let's start everything today.
Yep, because we've already been told that this Saturday night's main event that happens on December 13th is main roster stars versus NXT stars.
Let's start building for that too.
Style. Yep, you can start building to that now, but we understand that the big stuff is probably going to be featured at the Royal Rumble. So let's start building to that. I agree.
Yeah. Shout out to Jose for the follow, by the way. DeMonte Cox says NXT deadline is this month, which it is, and we will definitely talk
December
about
6th. Yep.
We will definitely talk about NXT deadline within a couple days, but
it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Obviously,
deadline is gonna be a lot of fun.
You know, maybe that would be a fun thing, like with War Games or like Survivor Series. What if they did WWE Survivor Series Iron Survivor?
Dude, oh man, that'd be great. Because that's when you can get somebody like Carmelo Hayes and later down the line, Tony D'Angelo. Like, that's when you can really get people like that involved. I think that'd be fire. Ango, that was a great idea.
I think that's the move. I think for real.
Give this man the pen. Give this man the pen.
WWE should take out War Games and replace it with Iron Survivor.
The Iron Survivor.
In 2026,
take from NXT, who cares?
Bro, 2026 Iron Survivor. It would be so sick. Steal it from NXT.
Boom. You want to hear something big, Ango? That would make Survivor Series epic.
Oh, God. That was cringe. That was cringe. That was cringe, bro.
All right, chill out, man. Chill out. Keep it moving.
Hey, do you think Brock is going to stick around?
Until WrestleMania, yeah.
What would you do with him for WrestleMania?
Him and Braun, if you wanted to. If you don't do like Braun and Punk.
Oh, they're doing Braun and Punk for sure.
Yeah,
Braun winning the match for the War Games was
then I would do Gunther and Lesnar.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be my next, especially if like he retires John Cena, which that's a whole different conversation. But if Gunther retires John Cena, oh well, what's the other thing that you haven't done? You haven't slayed the beast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They could sell that.
Send his ass home packing. Take him out.
Send his ass packing. Gunther's just out here sending all the old men home.
Legend killer, Randy Orton style.
Yeah, facts. The real life legend killer, really sending him home.
Do you think
Randy wasn't sending him home? Gunther's sending him to the crib.
Do you think Anna Jay will go to WWE?
Anna Jay?
Anna Jay.
Has it been reported that she might?
Brother, do you not watch my content?
No, I mean, I haven't today.
No. You should.
What happened?
She might be out of her way from AEW.
Really? Do I think she goes to WWE then? Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't she? If you look at the things from AEW to WWE, there's people in AEW that watch WWE and have said, "Oh man, that probably looks real good over there." There's people in WWE that have probably looked at AEW and been like, "Oh, there's probably some good things over there." But I don't think she would go to the main roster. I think she'd go to NXT, kind of like Mariah May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Anna Jay if Anna Jay went to NXT, WWE will prime her up for the main roster so quick, bro.
For sure, absolutely. Anna Jay is obviously super talented.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be cool with it.
Definitely interesting. I think that's the perfect way to end the stream, bro. I think that's the perfect way to call it a day.
Absolutely.
Obviously, we got Raw tonight. I am tinkering with another idea for TikTok Live.
Okay.
So, I'll speak on that once I really get it
Time.
going. I thought this was actually kind of cool though because it worked. I mean, we were able to go live on the Red app.
My
And
voice on TikTok with you?
yeah,
Oh, no way. Cool.
yeah. So
Yeah, I'll be live on both platforms tonight for a live stream.
beautiful. I think that's the perfect way to do it. Guys, check them out at Billy TKO. My name is Ango at AngoPW. Almost 6,000 likes on TikTok. Shout out to everybody watching, hundreds of viewers tuning in. Actually, almost 1,000 viewers tuning in between both accounts, which is really dope. We didn't hit our super chat goal on the Red app on YT, but it's okay. Not
That's
a
all right.
big deal.
There's always tomorrow.
There's always tomorrow, but of course we'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow, 12 p.m. live on TikTok and live on YT. And
The other place.
The other place, yeah. And shout out to everybody who came through. Well, we ended up hitting 6,000 likes, so shout out for that.
Let's go.
And yeah, man. Shout out to Sharon Dye who dropped you the super chat as well. And
Yes, big shout out to Sharon.
And yeah, man, very cool stuff. Very happy. And we'll be back tomorrow.